Also, you need a bowl. I forgot the bowl for the seeds. So it's hard to get the bowl in the shot, but just use your imagination. The bowl is to my right. Um, oh, and I've already, looks like there's a little bit more pomegranate juice on the table. And don't worry about this. It's normal to get pomegranate juice on your things. Um, it's it's part of the it's it's the price you pay for eating space corn, for having such a delicious snack. So now you can take the pomegranate, and I I like to just kind of open it like this and peel it open. It requires a little bit of strength, but it's not too bad. Pretty much anyone can do it if you have hands that are working. If you don't, then perhaps you have a friend or caretaker who can help you. Also, their Trader Joe's sells pomegranates already um, pre pre opened and just the seeds, but it's a lot of packaging and I don't know. I like to work. I like to work for things. It makes it sweeter, to know that you worked for it. So I'm just peeling it off of the shell, the space corn shell, the pomegranate shell, and now I have like a little, I don't know what you'd call this, just like a little pod, a space corn space a space corn pod. And now I'm going to just take my bowl and just kind of drop them in. I'm probably not going to eat this pomegranate because like I said, it's several weeks old. It's a little brown, but it's so yeah. So you just kind of just get them, just peel them off, just like that, and it's a really, it takes a while to get the seeds off. So it's not really the kind of snack that you want to have. If you've got somewhere to be, if if you have plans with your friends, or you got to get to work or something, and you want some fruit. Pro, pro, it's probably not the best fruit to choose. If you're a gal on the go, but if you got some time, if you got a night in, you called your friends and said, hey, I can't come out tonight. I'm gonna stay in and watch a movie or read a book. And a pomegranate's a really nice choice. So I'm just again peeling the seeds off. As you can see, it's on my hands, and it's gonna happen. It's a hazard. It's something that happens. So if you're worried about making a mess, you're probably gonna make a mess, but you can always wear a smock, or wear something that's pomegranate colored, so it would blend in if you decide that you just want to go for it. And I try not to worry about stains, because I think it shows that I'm living my life and doing eating exotic fruits, exotic space fruit, space corn. So as you can see, I'm still just peeling it away, and it looks like I've got some of the I don't know if this is called pulp or what, but this white matter from the pomegranate, and it's really rather bitter. If you like sour, bitter things like sauerkraut, or orange peels, or any sort of citrus peel, really, then it's all right to eat. But if not, then you can go ahead and pick it out, and it kind of sticks to your hands a little bit, because your hands are wet with pomegranate juice, and it's okay. But see, as you can see, I'm making a lot of progress, and I've made a little bit of a mess, but you know, I'm living. I'm really, I'm doing exciting things. So, a little mess is okay. So, yeah, so I like to get every seed because, pomegranates are, they can be kind of expensive, and, I really think, you should use all of it if you can. You don't want to miss one. Especially because the seeds are so small, so, one seed, it's hard to even register that you're eating anything. So I've gotten through about, I don't know, a quarter of the way. So I'm gonna continue to just peel it, and I've heard some people have taken the pomegranate and put it under water. I'm not exactly sure what this does, but it's a suggestion. I'm sure there are other videos. You could put it in a strainer, like a colander, I believe is the culinary term, but I'm not really too clear on the jargon. So, and if you don't have a strainer, you can just use a bowl, and anything that has tiny holes in it, like a cheese grater. You could take a cheese grater and sort of lay it on top of your bowl. Maybe a couple cheese graters, and lay them on top of the bowl, and tape them to the bowl. That noise is the train going by. I live near the train. Oops, runaway pomegranate seed, and put that back in the bowl. So sometimes you'll get runaway seeds. So I typically, so if you don't have a strainer, you can tape, you can get some duct tape and take some cheese graters, or just use your hands and kind of hold the cheese grater on top of the bowl, and then put it in the sink, and then put your pomegranate on top and sort of run water on it. I'm not exactly clear as to whether or not you open the pomegranate and then run the water on, or if you just sort of wet it in its shell before you open it and follow these steps. So as you might get a little impatient, so sometimes I just peel the whole thing into there and then pick out the white part later, because now my mouth is sort of watering, so I just kind of take you can just take the whole thing and just sort of just scrape it in even, and it's another runaway seed right there, and you can just kind of, and they're getting on the floor, and they're kind of, you can just kind of smush them down, even just kind of peel it off and just plop it in there. Of course, now I have to go back through and get the white matter out, but it's kind of a fun little, it's like a treasure hunt almost. It's really really kind of exciting. It's and you want to make the whole experience fun. And another thing to do if you're not able to find a strainer or a colander, and you don't, maybe you're vegan and you don't have cheese, or you don't, vegan cheese is expensive, so perhaps you just don't really have a cheese grater. You can use pantyhose. You can take pantyhose and just sort of put the pantyhose around the bowl, and then put the pomegranate on top of the pantyhose. The pantyhose are around the bowl, pulled taut, of course, and then you can turn your water on. It's kind of hard to mime. Turn your water on, and that can be a strainer. So that's a nice tip. You know, you have to be, you have to have access to pantyhose. So maybe you're a female presenting human, or you're female identified, or perhaps you have a friend who is, or you have a pair of pantyhose if you're not a female identified person. You can always buy a pair, but go to a store, go to like a box store and get a pair. They run pretty cheap. So I'm just picking out the white pieces now and getting those seeds out. Those pesky little seeds. They're oh, you're making me work for it. That's what I say sometimes. Like I'll talk. Be at home and, called my friends and said, okay guys, I'm not going to come out tonight. I'm going to stay in and, have be with the pomegranate and say, hey, you make me work. You make me work so hard for your sweet juice, and you're always making a mess of all my things. Have a little laugh, have a little joke. Just be playful, because, when you're spending, 20, 30 minutes trying to prepare a snack. It's when you're trying to eat a piece of fruit and it takes you about 20 minutes. It's nice to be playful and creative and have a little fun and use your imagination. So yeah, this is a big one. I managed to get it out of the peel, and now I'm just kind of you can go, you can just kind of flick the bean, as they say. I don't think that's what they're talking about when they say that, but see, even eating pomegranates can be kind of sexy. You can really just feel a little sexy, which is nice. When you're having a night alone, it's nice to feel a little, spicy, sweet and spicy. Yeah, I think they say that these are the seed of the gods and the nectar of the gods. I'm sort of, oh, that was good. So you can take the chunk and peel it off, and then just, make the little guys off like that. So, yeah, and that one is, so I really have, it's just too bad that this pomegranate is so old, and some of the seeds are sort of brown and dry, and some of them are they're a little discolored, but it's just too bad, because this is just really looking like it could have been really delicious, and and all this work, and it would have been nice to be able to eat it, because sometimes it can feel like you're working really hard for not a lot of reward, but it's a good lesson. It's a good lesson if you have kids. You could be like, hey, here's a lesson in life, that sometimes like you have to work really hard, and you have to stain your clothes, and you have to it gets everywhere, or that's, and sometimes life is just the work that you have to put into it doesn't always out match the reward that you get. Sometimes you just get a couple of tiny fruit seeds, and sometimes you go through all this trouble, and the pomegranate wasn't ripe, it wasn't ready, and so it's really, really sour, and that's but that's that's how it goes. That's life. It's a good lesson. If you don't have kids, you could like call a friend who does have kids and be like, hey, can I have your kid over? I'm gonna make him a snack and teach him a lesson. I'm gonna teach him a life lesson. And parents really, really like that. They like to get a break from their kids, and they like to just, they like it when, other adults, want to, teach their kids lessons. It really does take a village. And maybe you're friends with kids. Maybe they have a strainer you could borrow, and or maybe they know a trick, or maybe they have some tips on how to eat a pomegranate, and maybe they really. So you know, maybe they want to come too. Maybe it could be like a, you know, a little thing, and you know, you're, you know, having, you know, the holidays are, you know, they can be a lonely time. So you know, maybe you want to have some people over and, you know, do this together. So there's still a few white pieces in here, but you know, it adds a little kick, a little nice kick. So don't worry, don't be too hard on yourself if there's some white pieces in there. It's all right. Um, and yeah, you can just, you know, take them in your hand, and you can, you know, take a handful of it. And like I said, I'm not going to eat this. Or you can use a spoon, or you can sprinkle them about on, you know, a salad, or you know, you could even take them now and mash them up and drink the juice. So, oh, there's a few more seeds. So, yeah, so I hope that this tutorial was helpful and that you walked away with some. Oh, look, I missed a bunch. That's exciting. That's like on, you know, it's like when you get a package in the mail and there's, you know, packing peanuts, and you know, you think you have all the treats in the package, and then you look, you know, you reach your hand in the packaging, you know, in the peanuts, in the packaging peanuts, and then you realize that you know, there's still more good stuff. So it looks like I have some more seeds to get out. These ones are definitely bad. You guys, you thought I wasn't gonna get you, but I did. You know, talk to them. That's kind of nice. So yeah, so I can just, you know, you can just kind of gently pop them up. They're pretty resilient. You know, they're, you know, for a kernel, a space corn kernel, they've survived a, you know, a long journey here to the Bay Area, to the Earth, you know, to Earth. So yeah, you know, I might have missed a few seeds. So I suggest that you go back after you've, you know, got your most of the white matter out, and this one's got white matter peeled on it, or this one has white matter sort of wrapped around it. I don't know if you could see that, but I just kind of peeled it off gently. And so you know, when you're done, you can go back through the peel and see if there are any stragglers, any, you know, no man left behind, you know, not just women and children, everyone, you know, every man for themselves, sort of like, you know, just drop them in, you know. So yeah, and you know, it's a really, it's just, it's really a great fruit. I'm not exactly sure about the nutritional profile, but I assume it's, you know, it's a healthy one. I mean, it's a fruit, so you know, I and it's not too sweet. So you know, I think it'd be safe to say that if you know, have, you know, limit your sugar, if you're diabetic or just sort of watching your weight, you know, a bowl of pomegranate kernels probably all right. You know, it's a nice treat. You could get really nutty and put them in the freezer. I've never done that, but you know, it just came to me. And it could be really nice, like, you know, similar to frozen grapes. You could just, you know, pop this in the freezer, and you know, 6 hours later, like, you know, cold little treat. Or maybe even, you know, warm them up. Warm pomegranates might be good. I know boiled oranges really is, you know, really are quite nice. You can, you know, slice up oranges and put them. They make a really nice smell too in your house. So you could, you know, have people over and, you know, slice up those boiled oranges before they get there. Slice up the oranges and, you know, put them on the stove, and you know, everyone comes in. They're like, oh my gosh, your house smells so good. What does that smell? And you're like, oh, I'm just boiling some oranges for us. We're just gonna have some boiled oranges as a snack, you know, while we hang out. Just, you know, it's a nice idea. So yeah, so here are the pomegranate seeds. And that took me about I would say 20 minutes, you know, to get them all out, and you know, and then, you know, probably about, oh, here's some extra ones. Probably about, you know, another 5 minutes to clean. I you know, I kind of made a little bit of a mess. I'm gonna wash my hands, and then, you know, I'll put these aside and clean up, and you know, put these in the compost. you know, if I had a compost, I don't right now, but if I did, I'd, you know, put them in the compost. And, yeah, 'cause I, you know, like, you know, if I were the kind of person that, you know, gardened, I'd, you know, put them in the compost and, you know, like wipe up the table and, you know, wash my hands and then, you know, dig in. All right, thank you. I hope you enjoy this video.